Hi, it's Will from StormTheCastle.com, and this is a tutorial on how to make an easy battle axe out of cardboard. And what I've done here is I've used a broomstick and just a few pieces of cardboard, see, and painted it up. And I'll show you the process on how to do this. And I've also, for the tutorial, I've also showed you how to make a war axe. This particular axe has the cutting blade, the spike for piercing armor, and the hammer. See the hammer there? The hammer would be used as a percussion, so you struck at armor and the percussive kind of strike. So this is a fun project. It's not that hard to do. It took me a couple of hours, and I had to design it too and everything. And you can make it either as a short-handled, or in the case of this one, it's, you know, a pole arm. You know, it's a very long, like 6 foot long. And I just put the blades on both sides just to make it easy, so I didn't have to get another broomstick or anything like that, just to show you. I have, there's all different types of pole arms and pole weapons that you can make. And I have a listing on my website, and I'll put the URL in. Like, you can make a Vulge or a Bardiche or a halberd or just a plain war hammer. Typically a lot of these items will have, instead of a hammer on the back, they'll have a spike out the back here, even a curved spike, for striking or for disarming or pulling somebody off a horse. I'll put the link here so you can see that. So let's launch into the tutorial. I've first drew out the head of the axe shapes on pieces of poster board, and you can use regular paper, but that gives you a lot of flexibility as far as getting the design right. Now I've taped them down to the cardboard, and I've traced around them so I can cut out the cardboard to the right shape. And you make 2 of those so you have both sides of the axe. And an important thing to notice here is that corrugated cardboard, box cardboard, has corrugations in it which are lines of strength. And you want those lines of strength to go this way. That'll make your axe much stronger. And one more thing, to get these shapes, these nice curves, I used a bowl. See how that's the perfect size shape of that? I didn't use the bowl right centered, but I used it to get the blade edges. Now take one of your sheets, your axe blades, cardboard axe blades, put your broomstick on it, stick it out the end maybe an inch or 2 like that. It looks better, and also we're going to put a spike on this so that it'll be easy to mount the spike to that. But tape it down with masking it with duct tape really well. And a couple of things about this is run some strips like this, and run some strips actually this way, like this, and run some diagonally around, all the way around diagonally, and even run some here on the edges. Get it nice and tight, as tight as you can. And how it looks on the inside here, this is going to be the inside of the axe. How that looks doesn't matter. See, that'll be inside the axe, but how this side looks might matter depending on how you paint it or whether you want to paint it. So try to be neat on the outside here. It'll look better. So after that, now we're going to place our other side of the blade like this. Now what I've done is I've secured the edges together, if you can see that, so it forms a nice axe blade and a nice triangle. It forms out. It looks really good. And how I did that, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. I'm going to show you a couple. What I did was I carefully, just the blade section, put a few pieces of tape on it to tape it down, and then I used a hot glue gun in the inside and also on the outside to glue it down. So I did that on both sides, and then after that's done, I will remove those little pieces of tape so it'll paint well. But also what you can do now, if you don't have a hot glue gun, that's probably the best way. You can do something like this. Put a bunch of strips like this to fold them over in half. Just do that with a lot of them like this. What you do is, and then you draw yourself a line. That'll be just the sharpened edge of the blade there. So you see what it is? I use the same bowl I used for this. And then you can use a sharp knife to cut that away. You know? And now we have a nice edge on that looks like the sharpened edge of the axe. To make the hammer, the head of the hammer on the other end of the axe, I just cut myself a strip of cardboard 2 inches wide, and I think this is, in my case, it's like 12 inches long. And now I'm just gluing it in. I've already glued part of it in here. I'm going to glue more of it in here until it's folded over. See? And that'll be the hammerhead. Okay, let's finish up the building of this by adding the cone, the point. And this would be for piercing. And I'm going to put one on both ends. So we're also going to put one on this end. So what you do is get yourself a piece of thick paper, cardstock. You can use a cereal box, will work really well for this. Roll it tightly into a cone and then trim it down till it's about the right size that you want. And then you glue it in place. You can glue it or tape it in place like that. And this thing will be, and I recommend also stuff it with newspaper so it maintains its shape. Okay, the build is done. It looks great. It's nice and durable. And I've also finished the war axe. See it? This one's got that nice, the thing about a war axe here is that you have the blade for hacking and slicing. You have the point here for penetrating armor. And you also have the hammer, and that's for concussion. Like say you can't penetrate the armor, that will actually do a concussive blow. So there's 3 functions to this. So next I'm going to paint it up, and I'll try a couple of different paint schemes, see how it looks, and I'll show it to you done. So that's it. I've completed it. I've painted it all up, and it looks pretty good. See, I dyed some gold and some silver and some black, and first I painted this BattleAxe here gold. Just painted all of it gold, and then I added some silver on the spike, and then a little bit of black, silver for the blade, and a little bit of black for accent. Looks pretty good. So that's how you do it. And have fun, and it's pretty sturdy, and actually this will take a little bit of use. Lots more projects on our website, stormthecastle.com. I've got all kinds of cardboard weapons, armor, Spartan gear, Perseus sword, cardboard katana, all kinds of cardboard weapons and armor too. Shield, how to make a nice looking shield. And if you want to see all the various different types of pole arms, like this is, because of the length of this is a pole arm. I have all the pole arms listed throughout the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, on my website. The URL for that is in my description here, and I'll pop it here in the video.